I think life takes different routes for everyone. I trained as an aircraft maintenance engineer, and here I am doing a bit of diplomacy. I'm selling nuts, cashew nuts. I'm helping running restaurants. I've got so I don't think the goalposts in life are fixed.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah and welcome back to the podcast Learniverse, where curiosity meets knowledge. I'm your host Rohan Ahmed, joining you from the studios of MTA International Gambia. And today we are honored with the presence of the Honorary Consul of India in the Gambia, who is also a very successful businessman. And with wealth of experience, he has immensely contributed towards the restaurant industry in the Gambia. And he is Mr. Ram Mohan. Welcome to the show, and it's a pleasure to have you today.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you very much for having me.
Our pleasure,
Pleasure
sir.
to be here.
Thank you. So, Mr. Mohan, for life to be rewarding, it requires a lot of dedication, commitment, and also proactive approach to challenges. And to be successful in any field of life, one has to come out of his comfort zone. But even prior to that, it is very important to recognize or identify your goal. And so how should one work towards finding his goal? And secondly, achieving a goal in itself is an adventure. So how should one prepare and pack for such a journey?
Ron, I think life takes different routes for everyone. I trained as an aircraft maintenance engineer, and here I am doing a bit of diplomacy. I'm selling nuts, cashew nuts. I'm helping running restaurants. I don't think the goalposts in life are fixed, and one needs to be able to adapt to the conditions. It all brings it down to at a very young age, learning the basics. I think being taught the basics is the most important thing, the most important way to prepare yourself for the future, because you never know which route you'll have to take at some point in time in life. So if you don't have the basics, you're not going to be able to, you'll always be, if you're only looking at a certain goalpost, it makes it very difficult to achieve it when life changes, when for some other reason, the environment around you changes. If you aren't able to adapt, and being able to adapt means to constantly reskill yourself. I'm sure when we started our businesses, we hadn't access to computers and things of that sort. And today everything happens on computers. The communication those days was telexes and long distance telephone calls. And today we are on WhatsApp. So reskilling yourself and everything that comes. Today we have artificial intelligence coming up. So if you don't reskill yourself, you're not going to be able to achieve anything that you want to do. Because the goalposts will be different. So you can't really fix. Be prepared for change. I think that's very important.
So the key word is to reskill yourself with the current situation.
Constantly reskill yourself. Yeah. And being street smart is so important in life today.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. And Mr. Mohan, it's said that everyone is born vulnerable, and vulnerability is very crucial for growth. So how can we assess, how can we embrace vulnerability for future security?
I guess it's similar to what we just said right now. If you are unsure of yourself, then you will be vulnerable right through your life. But once you have your basic foundation in any sort of things, it need not be education as such, but making sure your principles, your core foundation is on principles of honesty and hard work. I think you will be less vulnerable in life. It's very important to have those basics. Whatever may be, honesty and integrity will always take you forward in life. There will be someone who will recognize these characters in you, who will be able to take you when you're in an invulnerable situation, take you forward. So I guess it comes down to faith in yourself, which is very important.
Yeah, that's interesting. And life is viewed as a journey of continuous learning, and each experience, serves as a lesson that help us to, that contributes to our personal growth. So that brings me to the next question. What is the lesson that an individual has to learn hard way?
Wow, okay. I think, what education in Harvard costs you is about possibly $250,000 if you really want to go through a proper, full education in Harvard. And yet, when you make a mistake in life, if you learn from it, it'll be much easier learning from your mistakes. So learning from mistakes and errors, making errors and mistakes is very important. So you really know where you're going wrong. And once you learn from it, that's the best way to prepare yourself for the future, because you will tend not to make the same mistakes again, provided you learn from your mistakes. You don't go to Harvard twice, you go to Harvard once. So when you have an expensive lesson, you make sure you learn from it. I think it's very, very important to learn from your mistakes.
So just for the listeners, is there anything that you regret and you don't want others to fall for it? In the field of business to be particular.
I think, I don't think I would regret anything, because every mistake we made, we learned our lessons well, and that prepares you much better for the future. So I don't think I would regret anything, but I guess integrity is very important. In business sense, we have something called contracts. For example, when we are dealing with a buyer, we have contracts. That contract could be just your word of mouth. On the phone, we agree on a price. The market could go up, could go down. If I don't honor that contract, then I'm losing my integrity in. And those lessons are something which many people here don't learn, because they feel, okay, I could make so much more money if I broke this contract because the market has gone up. And not realizing that they may have got that momentary benefit from that bad judgment, but later on it affects you in life. So I think something that has really taken us forward as a business, Comafric, as a business company here, is because we keep our word. Even if it was just a phone call with a buyer, it's not a signed contract yet, we will honor that. And that has taken us a long way forward. So yes, we learn from these kind of mistakes that other people have made, and see that the problems that they are facing once they don't honor contracts. Even some of our buyers sometimes have not honored contracts, and today they would have rather had us as a business partner than. So it pays a lot to learn from these.
So, and someone can be at home listening to us right now and saying that yes, he got the opportunity, he got the resources, and he is doing what he loves. And that is where he is right now. And I, as an individual, I'm stuck in a job which I hate, and I have no other opportunity, or I'm not having any other option. So how would you address to such an individual?
Well, have faith in yourself. I mean, you need. I don't think I will call myself lucky. There's a famous golfer. I love playing golf. There's a famous golfer, Ernie Els, who says, the more I practice, the luckier I get. Because everybody attributes it to luck, but it's a hard work and persevering your ideals would help people get out of that rut. The moment you feel that you are stuck, I think it signifies that you are not able to communicate or move forward on your own. Loss of self-confidence is the major reason why people aren't successful. It's not luck. It's hard work in going after your principles will take you forward in life, for sure. The right opportunities will fall in your place at some point of time because you've stuck to your principles. And so I think I'm going back around the same words over and again. But I think that's so important that you learn you learn to follow your ideals.
Exactly. Yeah. So what about We have academic studies, and then there is also the study of the business itself, like practical study. So how do you think, and how are both subjects important?
Okay, just give you a bit of my background. I mean, I studied aircraft maintenance, as I mentioned earlier, and I was a technician. It wasn't. I wasn't. It was a diploma course. It wasn't a degree course. It was very difficult to get through this phase in life in India when we had only two airlines, and unless you knew somebody, you couldn't get a job in these airlines, and you had to work as a technician your whole life. The From there, I moved on into marketing of computers because I wasn't happy with the salary that I was earning as an aircraft technician in India. The opportunity wasn't there. Now, my studies, and then later on, I got into business, came to Africa, got into the cashew business, and I took that up as a passion. I was passionate about it. It's very important to be passionate about whatever you do. And while doing this, I happened to become a successful businessman. The government of India was looking for a businessman to represent them as a consul general. In 2003, I was appointed consul general by one of our, President Kalam appointed me, which is a huge honor for me. And when I went back to my university where I had studied aircraft maintenance engineering, I was honored there and I was asked to give the valedictory address. And everybody was saying, this guy has left the field and why is he addressing us? And I mentioned something there saying that, when you learn engineering, you learn about tiny things like nuts and bolts. And one loose screw on an aircraft could mean a disaster. So every small thing matters. And I believe education is good. I don't have it. I'm technically not a degree holder, but yet here I am, Honorary Consul General of India, ComAfric, the chairman of ComAfric in 4 or 5 countries, 6 or 7 restaurants. There was the chairman of the Fajara Club as well for 6 years.
Contributing to educational sector.
And yes, I'm involved in the schools here. I was sit on the board of the British International School here, Dakar as well. So a person, it's not just education that takes you forward in life. Understanding what the basics of education are, I think, are more important. And again, come back to the same thing, keeping your principles, maintaining principles.
Oh, thank you for this wonderful advice. So as a parent, what is your fear concerning your child? What is that quality you don't want your child to have?
I wouldn't want my children to ever do anything that I did when I was a kid. But I think I took a lot of good things that my parents told me. Those lessons that my parents told me on integrity. My mother would keep saying, never look at a gift horse in the mouth. That is, never look at, when somebody's giving you a gift, accept it as graciously as the person giving it. My dad was very practical. When he had caught me smoking when I was in school, he just told me, he said, you want to kill yourself, go do it with your money. Don't spend my money to kill yourself. Lessons like these stay in your mind. And the integrity part of it is the most important. So I exercise the same thing with my children. And I think I don't worry of them at all. Because we have imbibed them with those basic characters at a very young age, which I advise every parent to do. Once you give your child a basic foundation, then you keep and make sure that the company that your friends keep, your children keep with the friends is, that's where your foundation is built. So I honestly don't worry. My daughters have a free time to do what they want. They've touch wood, they've grown up as responsible people, understanding the basics of life. And that's it. You don't worry anymore. No?
Yes. So, and as we are growing up, we often get advices from all corners. So, what is the worst advice you might have received?
There's been no worst advice because everything that I have received has taught me such an important lesson in life that you value the worst advice better because you're able to analyze it and get out of situations. So I can't really call anything the worst advice that I have received. Everything has been positive, a positive learning. I may have lost financially, or may have lost friends, or may have lost, but at the same time, you've come out of it positively. So bad advice is actually good if you're able to understand it well enough. One of the best things I ever did was, I would say, come to Gambia. The interesting part of Gambia is, as a business center, it's small. The marketplace is too small for anybody to do any big business. So it's really an ideal start-off place for anybody who wants to learn, because you can't make huge mistakes. The market, you have to do many things to be able to be successful. You can't just stick on one business and think that it's going to be there for life, because somebody else will start doing it, then you'll have competition. But if you do several things, then you're able, and Gambia provides that environment to do several things. And it doesn't provide you the space to do huge businesses. So you have to become skilled in many skill sets, and that helps.
But what has attracted you most coming to the Gambia?
I came by chance. I was invited in '98 by the Catholic Relief Services to look at some sesame here. And when I came here and I met people, after having been, and not that people in those countries were bad, but the environment was Guinea-Conakry. It was very tough to operate. Then I've been to Guinea-Bissau to 2 or 3 coup attempts. And then I was in Senegal. Senegal's a very competitive environment. And I was invited to Gambia. I came here. The beach, the people, the friendliness, the language, of course, the ease of doing business was amazing. I mean, '98, I came in here just for a visit to examine some sesame, and I took a decision, took the house. I'm still staying in the same house where I moved in since 1998. And Gambia has become home headquarters for us now. ComAfrica has grown into about 6 countries, but yet we operate from Gambia. I'd really like to thank the Gambia for getting me those opportunities as well. And I guess we have made the most of those opportunities.
Now we're almost at the end of our sitting today. So any last piece of advice for the listeners?
I think for anybody who wants to get into business, I would definitely say that integrity part is very, very important. Respecting contracts, I think, is something which at every forum that I've spoken, I've said the respect of contracts is the only reason why we have been able to grow ourselves we're a very well-known company in the commodity sector, because we honor our contracts, and that's really, really important in life. Changing skill sets, please, everyone listening to this, please make sure that whatever you do, whether you're an accountant, or whether you're a trader or a shop owner, if you don't gather the skill sets of this changing world, learn how to use artificial intelligence, because that is soon going to take away many jobs. So if you are in artificial intelligence, study it well, understand it, use it. I'm pretty old to learn new things, but I still make it a point to keep up. We have our meetings now all on online meetings, and we use a lot of the AI platforms to make presentations. So I guess improve your skill sets. You don't have to spend a lot of money to learn. It's all available online. So pick up new skill sets every time and be prepared.
So, Mr. Mohan, I want to ask about the contribution of your family. Obviously, with concerning your success, they have also contributed, and how family itself plays an important role.
I think family is probably the most important part, because at least in my case, my wife is from Morocco. We both are from different religions. She's Muslim and I'm Hindu. My daughter leans more towards Islam, but she's grown up in this environment. So I think family plays such a huge role, and they're a comforting factor. My wife was no doubt very much a part of our success. She's been right through our life in Conakry, where we had these 2 coup attempts. Lending, I think many people get worry for their family. And in my case, it's been the family lending support when we went to the schools. Jamila was a very strong person. I remember when we were on the Senegalese military vessel, she even took over the kitchen, made sure she cooked for all of us. on a boat that was carrying about 400 people, she walked into the Senegalese military kitchen and cooked a meal, because it was very difficult to come by anything. So yes, the family has played a very important role. She speaking Arabic, Fula, French, was able to deal with the money changers all the time. She was brilliant at tackling. So we would send her to make the currency deals with the people, mainly the Fula people and the Mauritanian speaking Arabic. So yes, in my case, they've played an amazing role, and it's all been a joint success story, giving me the fact that I had to spend less time worrying about them and doing the things that we had to do to grow the business. That was a pretty positive. I think family is a must. I mean, and being able to deal and cope with family and not keeping them aside, I think is another lesson many people can learn.
Thank you very much for joining us today and having this informative and instructive discussion. It was wonderful to have you today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rohan. Thank you, MTA. Thank you for the opportunity to be able to lend my voice out.
It's our pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, dear viewers, that's all for today. Until we come your way again, till then, take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Patients come in with colds and flus and they say straight away, I need an antibiotic. It's sort of educating them that you might not have a bacterial infection. It could be a virus.
Once an antibiotic of a first generation is effective, and we're using it only when needed for that particular ailment and leaving out all the I've got a cold business. Absolutely. I think it's very, very unnecessary to go to the very complicated new second, third generations